Hey guys, my name is Chase, and back in 2016, I got really into collecting vinyl. And I'll be super honest, I think I was only obsessed with it because it was like the hip thing at the time. And once I get obsessed with something, I fall pretty deep into it. So today I thought I would share with you guys my entire vinyl record collection. Let's do this. So first off, this is actually the last vinyl I ever bought. This is Toxicity by System of a Down. I started listening to System of a Down when I was way too young to start listening to System of a Down. So yeah, System of a Down means a lot to me. After a lot of debating with myself, I think I can say that Toxicity is my favorite System of a Down album. I know that's such a cop-out answer to say, but I do genuinely believe that Toxicity is such a good album. I think if you could mash together some of the tracks off of Toxicity and steal this album, you would have like a masterpiece album. But anyway, I don't know, here's a look at the actual record. What I really like about vinyl is that it's really big, so you have all this space to put all kind of artwork and whatnot. So here's a look at Toxicity. Apologies if some of these records are a little bit dusty. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a hot minute since I even looked through my records. Speaking of System of a Down, we have Darren Malakian and Scars on Broadway's Dictator. I don't know, I just like calling it Scars on Broadway. But yeah, this is a pretty cool record. This is Darren Malakian's side project. And what's really interesting about this album is that this album, I believe, was already finished back in 2012 or 2013. But Darren Malakian was holding on to these songs in case there was a new System of a Down record. Obviously no System of a Down album, so he just put them out with Scars on Broadway. I'm not gonna lie, I think I like the first Scars on Broadway album better than the second one. But here's a look inside with everything. Got a nice little insert with all of the lyrics and whatnot. The actual record is this cool gray, I don't know what you would call this, like a splatter or something. So System of a Down Toxicity is the last record I ever bought. I believe this is the first record I ever bought. Metallica Hardwired to Self-Destruct. You know, this album came out in 2016, so this was right when I was starting to get interested in collecting vinyl. This might be a hot take, but I actually really like Hardwired to Self-Destruct. This is, I guess, technically the first Metallica album that I got to listen to brand new as a fan of Metallica. So maybe I'm just a little bit biased, but I don't know. I think Hardwired to Self-Destruct is a very just solid album. So it comes with two records, A, B, and there's an insert in here. Although I like the actual music of Hardwired to Self-Destruct, I think the art of Hardwired to Self-Destruct is I don't know, I'm not too into it. Next up, we have Metallica Death Magnetic. Yeah, Death Magnetic came out during a time when I was still not super duper into Metallica. I remember first listening to, I think it was My Apocalypse, and that at least got me interested in Metallica a little bit, but I never actually got into the actual albums until Hardwired to Self-Destruct. But here's a look at Death Magnetic. Oh, it's by Warner Brothers, which is, I didn't even know that. And all the lyrics are in here, so I don't think we get an insert with this one, I believe. Yeah, no insert. Next up, we have Metallica The Black Album. Once again, another hot take. I think The Black Album might be one of my favorite Metallica albums. It is definitely one where I vibe with every single song on this album. Maybe except Don't Tread on Me, but that's another story. But yeah, here's a look at the actual vinyl. Looking good, looking good. And then we also get this nice little insert here. Boom, bang. I mean, if anything, the Black Album just sounds really great, which I think they were focusing on a lot at the time, is just the overall sonics of it. Next up, we have Metallica Master of Puppets. This is another good album, actually. Actually, yeah, I guess this is another album where there are no songs that I don't vibe with. All right, so taking out the things here, we have nice little insert. We get the actual record here. Boom, bang. This is also the album with that one song from Stranger Things. Next up, we have Metallica Ride the Lightning. Not gonna lie, some of the early Metallica stuff I'm not super duper into. I think it took a while for James Hetfield to really get into his voice. I don't know, I'm sorry if that's a super duper hot take. But this one comes in blue, which is very fitting. Next up, we have My Chemical Romance, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I started listening to MCR after The Black Parade, which I feel like is such a normie thing to say. But I think the tracks on this album are really cool. I remember I found this record over at Best Buy. I was surprised to see My Chemical Romance at Best Buy. Next up, we have Lindsey Stirling, Warmer in the Winter. This was actually a Christmas present from my mom. I will say though that I met Lindsey Stirling back in like 2017, I think. She's super duper cool. Here's the back. I started listening to Lindsey Stirling in, I think, 2013, which was around the time when I was like a sophomore in high school. I was still trying to figure out life. And what I really do appreciate about Lindsey Stirling is that she's very like, I guess, down to earth and like very cool, which was really great to have like, you know, kind of a role model when I was in high school. Next up, we also have Lindsey Stirling, Brave Enough. This is a really cool record, if anything, just because I like the songs that have lyrics in them. I think it's really interesting. See the actual vinyl here. Has like the cool little artwork in the middle. Very fun. It must have been for Brave Enough that I went and saw her show. Very cool. Very, very cool. And then of course we have the classic Lindsey Stirling album. This is the one that I very first listened to when I got into Lindsey Stirling. Yeah, this has like some of like the classic Lindsey Stirling songs. Crystallize, really great one. And I believe this is the one with Elements on it, right? Elements is a really good one. Whoa, look at the artwork on this one. I didn't even know. It's been so long since I looked at my vinyl that I forgot that this has like a cool art on it. Fun. Next up, we have Blink-182 California Deluxe. This is actually the first Blink-182 album I listened to. Some friends recommended this album to me, so I like sat down and just listened to it all the way through. I realized like, wow, Blink-182 is kind of cool. This one is fun because when you open it up, there's like a whole thing. That's fun. Also, this is one of the limited edition ones. First off, here's the first vinyl. Yeah, this is just regular California on it. And it's a really cool blue translucent vinyl. It's fun. Blue is actually my favorite color, so I love this. Not gonna lie, it's not my favorite thing when they just put the insert stuff on the actual little vinyl cover. And then this is all the deluxe songs. Very good, very good. This one is also translucent blue. I remember this set came with like a bunch of other stuff. There was stickers, there was like a pad for your turntable. Next up, we have Avenged Sevenfold, The Stage. This is a very good album. I really enjoy The Stage. Has this really cool artwork in here. Boom bang. If we have any Avenged Sevenfold fans, you'll probably know this one as Voltaic Oceans. But I think this album is super duper interesting. This is actually the album that got me into the whole simulation theory thing. In fact, I actually wrote an entire paper in college about the simulation hypothesis because of this record. Then this one, we actually do get a nice little insert, which is very fun. Next up, we have Avenged Sevenfold, the White Album. I don't know, this is a very interesting album. I've heard a lot of people compare this album to their new upcoming album, Life is But a Dream, in that there's like a bunch of different like musical styles and genres and influences all throughout the songs. You know, we have the infamous Dear God, which is a country song by Avenged Sevenfold. A Little Piece of Heaven, an absolutely wild song by Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah, looking back, I think this album is very interesting. Definitely like a lot of experimentation going on here. This is a good album. And then finally, last record I have is Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil. And what a good record to end this video on, because the artwork for City of Evil I think is super duper just cool and interesting. I mean, first of all, just the cover is just so cool. And then when we open it up, censor that. We have all the lyrics in here and whatnot. And then actually looking at the record, there it is. Bunch of death bats in the middle. I think City of Evil is a very interesting album. If anything, just because you have a lot of like long tracks on here. I mean, The Wicked End, Into Strength of the World, Into Betrayed, Into MIA. That is a long track listing right there. But that is my entire vinyl record collection. Not gonna lie, I don't plan on getting any more vinyl. I talked about this in my cassette video, but as much as I love the big canvas that you get with vinyl records, it just takes up too much space and I don't like play them enough to justify getting more of them. Let me know in the comments what you guys got in your vinyl collections. If you want to see my very small cassette tape collection, feel free to check out the video below. For now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chase and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.